Welcome to Don Bosco in a Year podcast.
Day 65 Disputations with the Waldensians. The Catholic readings were warmly received, and the number of readers was extraordinary. But they aroused the anger of the Protestants. They fought back in their own newspapers and their Letture Evangelisch. But they lacked readers. So they launched attacks of every kind against poor Don Bosco. Now one, now another would come to dispute. Convinced, they said, that no one could withstand their arguments, that Catholic priests were just so many simpletons, and therefore could easily be confounded. At first, they came to assault me one at a time. Later, they came in pairs, and finally in groups. I always listened to them, and I always recommended that they should refer back to their own ministers those problems which they did not know how to answer, and then kindly relay the answers to me. I think it good to relate some episodes on this subject. One Sunday evening in January, I was informed that two gentlemen had come to speak with me. They came in and, after a long series of compliments and flattery, one of them began to say, "Good doctor, nature has favored you with the great gift of being able to make yourself read and understood by the common person. So we'd like to ask you to use this precious gift in the service of humanity and for the benefit of science, commerce, and the arts." At the moment, I said, I am taken up with the Catholic readings, and I intend to devote myself wholeheartedly to that project. It would be much better if you were to write books for young people on, say, ancient history, geography, physics, or geometry, but not the Catholic readings. Why not the Catholic readings? Because its topics have already been dealt with over and over again by many authors. These topics have already been dealt with by many authors, but in the learned volumes and not for ordinary people. That is precisely my aim with the Catholic readings. But this project is of no advantage to you, they argued. But on the other hand, if you were to take on the projects which we are recommending to you, you'd gain a nice sum of the wonderful institute that Providence has entrusted to you. Here, take this advance. They were 4,000 franc notes. And it won't be the last donation you'll get. You'll get even more. What's all this money for? To encourage you to undertake the work we've been suggesting and to help you with your most praiseworthy institute. You'll pardon me, gentlemen, I said. I return your money. At present, I can't take on any scholarly project other than the Catholic reading. But if a project is useless, they started to say, if it is a useless project, why are you worrying about it? Why are you offering me this money to get me to stop? You don't realize what you're doing, they persisted. Your refusal endangers your work, exposes you to a certain consequences, certain dangers. Gentlemen, I understand what you're trying to tell me, but I tell you clearly that when I stand up for the truth, I'm not afraid of anyone. When I became a priest, I was consecrated to the good of the church and good of poor humanity, and I intend to continue with my weak efforts to promote the Catholic reading. You're making a mistake. Their tone and attitude changed as they got to their feet. You're making a mistake. You have insulted us. And who knows what might happen to you here? And they added menacingly, if you leave the house, will you be sure of coming back? Gentlemen, you don't know Catholic priests. While they have life, they try to do their duty. If they must die because of their labor, that they would consider their good fortune and their greatest glory. By then, they both seemed so annoyed that I was afraid they were about to attack me. I got to my feet and put a chair between them and me. Then I said, "If you wish to use force, I am not cowed by your threats, but a priest's strength rests on patience and forgiveness. Now please go." I walked around the chair and opened the door of my room. "Bozzetti," I said, "take these gentlemen to the front gate. They are not accustomed to the stairs." That command confused them. "We'll meet again, under more favorable circumstances," they said as they left, their faces and eyes afire with indignation. Several newspapers, especially La Mornica, carried reports of these encounters.
Thank you for joining us today on this journey to know Don Bosco. May these reflections deepen our faith, guide us closer to God each day, and hope to see you all tomorrow. Till then, keep seeking, keep praying, keep growing.